they're all very excited because, of course, there's legends of ships that have been sunken around this area. All the all the gold doubloons, like Uncle Scrooge is going crazy. Like oh my god, if he was in this movie, if Paul Walker was like, "Oh Scrooge, I found it. I need your help." He's like, "I'm coming right down, laddie." Terrible Uncle Scrooge action, but you can picture it, right? Um, but it's that sort of vibes.
What's going on, everyone? It's been 20 years of Joel Scrappy movies, and we're taking a look back at the movies of Joel Scrappy movies. So, Joe, what are we taking a look at this week?
Hey Phil, this week we're talking about Into the Blue, the 2005 movie from John Stockwell, starring Paul Walker and Jessica Alba and Scott Conn and Ashley Scott and Josh Brolin. Josh Brolin,
Wow.
when everyone knew who he was, but before everyone was like on the Josh Brolin train. This is a couple years before the Coen brothers are like, him. And then he became the biggest thing in the world again. And I mean, rightfully so. Josh Brolin is great and has really taken advantage of being popular. Like, dude does movies and doesn't seem to get burned for them. Like he'll do good movies and bad movies, and the bad movies people are just like, yeah, whatever, because he's got three other movies coming out that year, and he's great in all of them. But so good or bad, the movie's good or bad, Brolin takes no heat. Anyway, and before we go on, I feel like there's something about this movie I'm going to forget to talk about, and it's something really important that I want to address. There's a character in this movie that is a distraction.
Okay.
He's like the good buddy of the main character, and he's not a distraction in a bad way. He's used as a distraction. He's used one as a helping hand. He helps Paul Walker's character. He offers sage advice to Paul Walker's character. There are a couple times where he's used specifically to distract people so that Paul Walker can do other things. One time, there's these bad guys at one point in this movie, and they're kind of on Paul Walker. And this guy rolls up on a boat, and he's holding this giant fish, and he's just like, "Hey, you guys like fish? Look at this big fish. Look at this fish here," right? And you're like, "What is this guy doing?" The guy he's trying to show the fish to starts to get really angry. It turns out there's a harpoon gun inside the fish, and he shoots a harpoon out of the fish's mouth into the guy's leg, and then hits accelerate on the boat and drags the guy. He drags the guy away. Okay, so I'm sorry if that's a spoiler for not the final moment of the film, but certainly the final battle. One guy is taken out disguised by a fish harpoon gun. I'm sorry to have spoiled that for you, but I really think it was worth mentioning, and I feel better now. I feel like I can talk about the rest of the movie now that that's been unburdened from.
I'm kind of imagining like one of those singing fish that you have up on the wall that he hides a harpoon gun in.
Yeah. Like he's a full-on talking character, and he turns his head like the singing fish are like this, and they turn their head, and he shoots a harpoon right out. And he's a full-on character because he talks or sings. Can you imagine if there was a fish character that only sang? And you're like, "Yep, that's Charlie."
Isn't that just The Little Mermaid?
It's a Little Mermaid. It's Finding Dory and the Little Mermaid. And how much better would the Little Mermaid have been if Flounder full-on shot somebody? All right, so Paul Walker and Jessica Alba play Jared and Sam. They are a couple, and they are sort of, I don't know where in the world they are. It certainly seems to be the Caribbean, and they are just kind of down there living their life. They dive and they soak up the sun, and they're living their best life. One day, their old buddy Scott Conn comes back, and he brings a sexy new girlfriend with him, who may or may not be bad news, but of course she is. She's played by Ashley Scott. So the four of them go diving, and while they're diving, they find sunken treasure, and they get very excited. So they're going up and down, digging up all this treasure, like, "Oh, I found this thing," and it's part of a ship. And they're all very excited because, of course, there's legends of ships that have been sunken around this area, and all the gold doubloons. Like Uncle Scrooge is going crazy. Like oh my god, if he was in this movie, if Paul Walker was like, "Oh Scrooge, I found it. I need your help," he's like, "I'm coming right down, laddie." Terrible Uncle Scrooge action, but you can picture it, right? Um, but it's that sort of vibes, and it's very cool. While they're down there, they're like, one more trip before we leave." They go down and they find a plane that has crashed. Inside the plane, dead people. But that doesn't stop them from going further into the plane, which for me, that's it right there. And they find all the drugs in the world, like not just the little drugs, but all the drugs. It's funny, they're underwater. And Scott Kahn's like, he holds up one of the little packs of drugs. It's like this big. He cuts it open to see what it is. And it's just everywhere because it's in the water now. And he's like, anyway, all the drugs in the world are in there. And they come out and they're like, well, the dilemma then is like, they need to report this plane full of drugs. But if they do, then they won't be able to maintain their newfound dig site for this
Mhm.
ship that they think they've found. So it's a true dilemma. And they're all like, well, maybe we'll search a little bit more because they need to to lay claim. Apparently this is the rules of the water, but to lay claim on a dig site, you need to be able to identify what the ship is. You'd be like, I found the Titanic. It's it, man. I found the Titanic in the Caribbean. And you just need to find proof that it's the Titanic. So they need to find proof that this is the ship that they think it is, or any ship. And they need to be able to say, like, this is the Titanic too. So they're we're going to spend another couple days just trying to find proof so that we can lay claim to this and then tell the authorities that over the dune is all the drugs in the world. But of course, there's people looking for all those drugs. So it's a very interesting dilemma. I don't want to spoil what happens, but eventually the paths cross with the people that want the drugs and these people that are trying to ignore the drugs. and and it leads to like cool action sequences, a great chase sequence, tons of water stuff, and cuff swimming. Can you imagine handcuff swimming? It happens. So eventually, there lots of stuff happens, lots of cool stuff, but like eventually they cross paths with like Tyson Beckford. He shows up out of nowhere and it's great because he's a fun face to see. I'm sure this is a point in his career where he's trying to make his big jump into the movies, and this is maybe not the vehicle to do it, but his role in it is fine. Um, all very interesting, all very fun. Here's let me say there's two halves. The first half is them finding the treasure. It's all very slow and sort of like relaxed. Lots of diving. These people bought an underwater camera and they put it to work. They're like everything. It's gorgeous. I couldn't be like, normally I'll watch a movie at home and like I'll half be watching it and half be on my phone. But I was like, I put my phone away because this looked that good. I was like, this is incredible. Really beautiful stuff. And of course, these are 4 beautiful people that they have swimming around in the ocean. So like, it's great. Beautiful scenery, beautiful people doing in the beautiful scenery. And it was very relaxed. Like they're treasure hunting and there's bad stuff happening, but it's not a big deal yet. So like I found this first half of this movie very enjoyable. The second half, the story sort of ramps up, right? So like the drug lords find out and they're after them and they want to know where the drugs are, but no, they have to keep it secret because they have to find the proof of the boat first. All this kind of crazy stuff. So thematically, it ramps up, but it still has a leisurely pace. These characters are like arguing on the beach, and they're given a hard deadline at one point. They're like, "You got 12 hours to bring me this, or I'm going to kill your girlfriend," basically. And they're like, "Okay," and they start doing other stuff, and I'm like, "Guy, get your priorities in order, please. Just go get this. Go finish this task so that you can continue your life." Um, so I felt like it had this leisurely pacing still when it should have been
Mhm.
breakneck, and it wasn't, and that kind of bummed me out. That said, I would recommend this movie because that first half is thematically very great, and I liked the feel of it. Looks great. Feels like, it's strange. I want to say there was a point where they go to a club, and I was like, oh, this is kind of like, I wonder if this guy was an MTV director, like a music video
Yeah.
director, because it feels a little like that. But it really doesn't, because I started watching Into the Blue 2, The Reef,
Oh.
and that feels like a music video. Like that one I would say it's trashy compared to what's going on in this. I'm not saying that this is sophisticated, but it is certainly more serious and really takes the scenery kind of serious. Like that underwater stuff is great. I can't say enough nice things about that. So I would recommend watching it. And I'd recommend it for Josh Brolin, who blips in the beginning, disappears for an hour, and then comes back in full force. And then of course the harpoon fish.
Yeah.
Where's it for that?
Um, so was Into the Blue good enough where you're like, let me see what else is out there in the Into the Blue extended universe? You're like, oh, Into the Blue 2? Yes, yes, please.
Yeah, I mean, no. I think I was aware of it beforehand. Um, before I started watching before I started my rewatch, I think I was aware of Into the Blue too. I don't know why. Probably because I was the type of guy that would go to Blockbuster and just wander around for hours
Mhm.
looking for deals. Um, so I kind of was aware of a lot of stuff that came out at that time, but yeah, no, this wasn't like, yeah.
Like the way you make it sound is like Into the Blue is the movie that came out in theaters, and Into the Blue 2 is the DVD, like direct to DVD sequel.
It kind of does feel that way. I don't think it was in theaters. It has kind of a, respect to them, but like it does have a kind of direct to DVD cast. It's not Paul Walker. It's not Jessica Alba. It's just kind of like, it's a guy from the OC. Good for him. And I want to say that like one of the reality stars from like The Hills was in there, but I'm not completely sure. I haven't researched that enough. But once I saw the shot, like what this movie looked like, I was like, okay, who's the director of this movie? I want to see what he's been up to. His name is John Stockwell, and he actually has a career as an actor too. He apparently has bit parts in Top Gun and Christine, the Stephen King movie. Um, so he's been around for a while, and then his directing credits. I was looking for something more substantial there, but it looks like it is.
Just Into the Blue?
No, not just,
No.
but almost. So his first movie is a movie called um, Undercover, and it's about undercover cops. It's basically 21 Jump Street, and stars Jennifer Jason Leigh and the oldest man in the world. like, like props to this guy. His name is David Neldorf, and this would have been in like 1987 or so. But he looks like I mean, at best, late 20s, and it's really he's got a full receding hairline. He's not a teenager. Um,
Yeah.
so when I saw this as the first movie, I was like, oh, I mean, it looks like it could be good, but like not believable at all. But I don't know. Maybe it's great. Maybe I'll check it out and it'll be great. So he had other directing credits, but then later on, it wasn't until the 2000s where he really hit with Blue Crush. Do you remember Blue Crush?
Vaguely remember Blue Crush is, but also like a water-based
Yeah,
world.
yeah. That one's a surfing water-based world, uh, and it was good vibes. And I think that got him a lot of cred. And after that, he went on to Into the Blue. Into the Blue did not do well. Like 18 million domestic, 47 worldwide on a $50 million budget. And then after that, lots of credits, but nothing theatrical, it looks like, which is a bummer. Because I bet he bought that underwater camera. And it looks great. Like, everything looks great. I just feel bad for the guy. Like, because this is a solid movie and good looking movie, and it deserved better.
Yeah. Um, it's weird 'cause it so when you told me that Into the Blue was coming up, in my mind, it was a surfing movie, but
Sure.
it does sound, it sounds like there's no real surfing in this movie?
There's no surfboards at all. They might
Okay.
drive through a surfboard on the way to the beach, but no, it's not. It's all diving. It's all, I
Yeah.
know, like impressively. There's scuba diving, but there's also like um snorkel diving where they dive deep, and I'm like, ugh, like I don't know how snorkelers do it. I'm like, they're like, you were down there for 3 minutes, and I was like, I can't hold my breath for 30 seconds. I don't know how they do it. So very impressive and very beautiful. Just a real quick story. We went to this was a couple of years ago. My family and I went to a place called Zelha in Mexico, and it's basically a big water park, and you can rent flippers and snorkels and to go snorkeling in this like lagoon. It's great. It's awesome. My kid lost one of his flippers, and I come back and I'm like, you know what? He lost the flipper. It's down there though. And they're like, well, it'll cost like $20. And I was like, I'll be right back. And I can't imagine what I looked like because I didn't have flippers or snorkel, or I kind of had my clothes on at that point too. And I just walked to the end of the dock, just jumped right in and just came up with the thing. Anyway, I don't know if that's a story worth keeping, but I was very determined to get that
The
thing,
flipper.
that flipper.
I thought you were gonna
Yeah.
say, like, your son lost one of the flipper and he was just, like, swimming around in circles.
That would be better. That's a better ending to the story.
But it sounds like this director, like, also directed Blue Crush, which is, like, a surfing movie. So, like, he's got a thing going. Do you th so Blue Crush was before Into the Blue, also
Right
both
before,
Blue
yeah.
movies?
Yeah. Blue is water. That's what he loves.
Um, and do you think Blue Crush is what, like, got him enough, uh, clout, I guess, to make Into the Blue?
I
And
really
Into the
do.
Blue was the movie that he wanted to make because, like, have you I don't know, I've never seen Blue Crush or Into the Blue. Um, so, like, the way you describe the kind of scenery, it sounds like he had a vision of what he wanted those shots to look like, and I don't know if that's present in Blue Crush or not.
Could be. It's been a long time since I've seen Blue Crush, but Blue Crush I remember being like a more of a real movie, like a real story, not just kind of fluffy sort of action, like thriller drama, like, oh, there's drugs. Oh no. It was more like she was a maid by day and surf enthusiast by night. Um, and just trying to keep that vibe alive in her life as a young woman. Um, but yeah, no, I can't remember visually it was as striking, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
So do you own this on DVD or Blu-ray?
I'm not sure.
Oh,
I could see if this might have been something I picked up, but I could not find it, and there's a good chance I don't own it because there's also I have not watched it in a long time. So I'm gonna say no. And if I saw it for $3 though, might buy it. But three's
I
the
feel like
top.
I feel like we're never gonna get those kinds of deals again on DVDs or Blu-rays
Those days
unless
are gone. Yeah.
FYE is going out of business or whatever other store sells physical media that
Best
would go
Buy,
out
they
of
still
business.
got it, right? Nope.
No.
Yeah.
All right. Um, so if people are looking to watch a movie with similar vibes to Into the Blue, is there something you would recommend?
You're not gonna like this. I struggled with this, but
Okay.
this was the first thing that came to my mind, and I tried to think of a better option, and that I couldn't, and that might mean that I couldn't think of a good option because I don't know that this is a good option. All right, so Point Break, the remake.
Why the remake?
Okay, so Point Break is a masterpiece. The Catherine Bigelow Point Break starring Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze is it's a masterpiece. Everyone loves it. I love it. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. Can't say enough good things. But it's not a one-to-one to this.
Yeah.
Point Break is closer to Fast and the Furious, of course, thematically. Undercover cop, you know, infiltrating the bad guys. Who are the bad guys? It's the same movie basically. But the Point Break remake did a lot of things wrong. I'll start with that. There are choices that are made poorly. But the thing that they did right and the thing that they really committed to was making it look really, really, really good. Scenery wise, breathtaking. Like they're like, if we're going to be jumping off of cliffs or like jumping out of airplanes, If we're gonna have a bank heist in the middle of, in the middle of the air, it's gonna look amazing. And you know what? I think it does. I haven't seen this movie in a couple years. I have seen it a couple times, and both times I remember thinking, "Wow, this thing looks great." And I think that's the same vibe I'm getting from Into the Blue. Substantially, story-wise, whatever wise, something's not quite clicking, but damn, it looks good.
Mhm.
And I think you could say the same thing for the Point Break remake. I think that's a movie that was, like, shot for IMAX, but no one wanted to see it even in regular theaters.
We're gonna pay the extra, like, $10 to see it
Yeah.
in IMAX.
Yeah, they're like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna I wasn't planning on paying the regular amount for a ticket." But it's such a good looking movie. There's an underwater sequence in that too, where they sort of do the same tricks. I kinda wanna revisit that just to see what they did right again. I do remember wrong that one of the things they do wrong is, Johnny Utah's got this crazy tattoo. Like, I know we live in the world of crazy tattoos now, but he's got this weird, terrible tattoo. Just Google Point Break remake tattoo and get a barf bag ready. I feel bad. What if that's the guy's real tattoo?
I mean, I don't remember like, I did see the Point Break remake, I think in theaters. I
You did?
remember
Okay.
I remember, like, very little of it, like, barely remember it at all.
That's the thing. It's like, it's a movie that we all know the story to, because we all know the story to the first movie, but you're like, "I don't remember anything." Well, I mean, the things that I think it did right are, uh, like I said, the scenery. I think it looks great. And then I think they hired a pretty good love interest, Teresa Palmer, who does not get enough work. I think she's great in that movie.
Nice. Um, so any other closing thoughts on Into the Blue?
Worth a watch, not a masterpiece. Uh, good vibes throughout though. Cool to see Brolin like this, pre rocket ship taking over Hollywood Brolin. Because he's basically doing the same things. You're just not ready for it from him yet. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there was a couple movies before this where he was doing those things, doing it really successfully. But for me, it's like for me, it's Goonies, Hollow Man, and then this. Um, but yeah, he's the best because he's in a billion things now and he's great in all of them, like I said. But yeah, worth a watch. Not great.
Alright, nice. Um, so have you guys seen Into the Blue? What'd you think of it? Let us know in the comments below. What is your favorite water-themed movie? Drop us a comment. And if you like this, give us a thumb up, give us a like, and if you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button, and we'll catch you on the next one.